After 161 matches that spanned a grueling 413 duels between 30 participants, we have finally arrived at the championship round in the Grand Prix, where Pegasus and Bakura will square off in a battle of lighthearted Toons versus dark-hearted bandits. While these two never dueled each other in the anime, they did have a shadow game of sorts, where Bakura took Pegasus' Millennium Eye and in the manga, even killed him in doing so. A revenge game if there ever was one. Now to get here, Diabound entered the playoffs as the 7th seed after having gone 6-4 in the preliminaries, including 2 wins against playoff decks. Then in the playoffs, Diabound took down another fellow villain, Merrick's Winged Dragon of Ra in the round of 12, Kaiba's XYZ Dragon Cannon in the quarterfinals, and Odeon's Apopus in the semis, all in 2-1 decisions. Toons meanwhile entered the playoffs as the 3rd seed with a 7-3 record in the preliminaries, which included a whopping 5 wins against playoff decks, including the 2 seeds above it. In the playoffs, Toons enjoyed a bye in the round of 12 before proceeding to knock off Kaiba's Blue Eyes in the quarterfinals and Joey's Jinzo in the semis, both in 2-1 decisions where Toons lost game 1 and came back to win 2 and 3. So both of these decks are no strangers to winning close matches, but only one can leave here the champion. One last time for the Grand Prix, it's time to duel. Toons, the higher seed, will opt to open up first, starting off with its best opening. Toon Funny Bunny on summon can add a Toon spell or trap from deck to hand. We'll grab Toon Bookmark, get all those search cards going. We'll go ahead and activate that bookmark to add Toon Network from deck to hand. We'll activate Toon Network, which on activation can look at the top 3 cards of the deck, add a Toon monster from among them, place the rest in any order on the top of the deck. We'll add Toon Bakura box, place the other 2 back. Toon Network also takes on the name Toon World while the Toons player doesn't control a field spell, activates Toon Table of Contents, grab another Toon card from deck to hand, all that search power coming in clutch, and these finals grabs Toon Terror. Omni Negate Counter Trap for the deck, steps 1 to the back row, and will pass to Diabound. Diabound opens up with Motive of the Bandit, can add the Bandit card from deck to hand, will grab the field spell Hideout of the Bandit. Go ahead and activate that and use its ability to pitch a Diabound or Colonel card, this being Diabound Colonel, to add the Bandit card from grave to hand. That will be the Motive of the Bandit back to the hand. We'll go ahead and activate that again, grabbing another the Bandit card from the deck. This time it'll be the Bandit King. We'll now activate Hidden Colonel to send a Diabound monster from deck to grave to add an Elusha from deck to hand. So similar to Toons, Diabound getting a lot of setup going before it goes into its plays. We'll now normal summon the Bandit King, who on summon can discard a card to discard a card from opponent's hand. We'll discard Elushu. Will Toons allowed to go through? No, they will go ahead and negate that with Toon Terror since it controls a Toon World, and Toon Monster can negate and destroy the Bandit King's effect. Bandit King, when it is destroyed though, will be able to special summon Diabound Colonel from the deck. We'll also chain on top of that Elushu's graveyard ability. When the monster it controls is destroyed, can add it back from the grave to hand. So Elushu goes to the hand, Diabound Colonel comes out from the deck. At the end of that chain, Toons will activate Toon Funny Bunny's ability to tribute itself to special summon a Toon monster from the hand. That'll be Toon Parrot Dragon. Toon Parrot Dragon on summon while Toon World is on the field can spin a card on the field to the top of the deck. Will target Hideout of the Bandit. We'll also chain to that Toon Network since the Toon monster was summoned by tributing another Toon monster, can bounce a card on the field, will target Diabound Colonel. And Diabound will chain in response to that Elushu's in-hand ability to discard itself to make the Diabound Colonel it currently controls immune to card effects. The Toons will chain on top of that Toon Bakura box, so tributing that Toon Parrot Dragon on the field. And now with nothing to target, Diabound Colonel can't bounce out of the way by using its effect. The chain will resolve, Toon Bakura box will come out. Since it comes out by its effect and destroy a monster on the field, Diabound gets destroyed. The rest of the chain resolves with that Hideout of the Bandit being spinned to the top of the deck. Diabound will set 1 to the back row and pass to Toons. Draws in a Toon Harpy Lady, will use its effect since it controls a Toon monster in Toon World to special summon from the hand and destroy a spell trap on the field, destroying the Vengeance of the Bandit. And now we'll activate Toon Page Flip, so we'll reveal 3 random Toon monsters from the deck. One of them will be special summoned, Toon Dark Magician, Toon BLS, Toon Funny Bunny, all 3 great choices, and it will be Toon Dark Magician. Toon Dark Magician's effect activates, discarding the Toon card in the hand, the Ally the Gator, to grab Toon Terror from the deck. We'll set that, and now in the battle phase, only the Bakura box can attack from among these 3 monsters. The other 2 not able to attack the turn they are summoned, but that is the first blood of the finals. Toons takes the lead, 5,700 to 8,000. Turn passes to Diabound, facing down an Omni Negate, and Toon Terror with only 3 cards in hand, nothing on the field. We'll have to draw that out first before it can get anything going. We'll activate Hideout of the Bandit. Will Toons opt to negate it? Yes, it will. Toon Terror will negate and destroy Hideout on activation. But Diabound does have a follow-up with Motive of the Bandit. We'll use that to grab the Bandit card from the deck to hand. That'll be the Bandit Child. Normal summons the Bandit Child, can use its effect, pay down 1,000 life points to special summon a Diabound monster from hand or grave. That'll be Diabound Colonel from the graveyard. With just those 2 cards in hand, it looks like Diabound may be able to turn the tides here. The Bandit Child will ram itself into Toon Harpy Lady, taking another 700. Score stands at 4,000 to 8,000. Toons in the lead, but the Bandit Child on destruction can special summon the Bandit Expert from the deck. Will also chain Elushu's graveyard ability to add that back to hand since the monster it controlled was destroyed. The Bandit Expert comes out. Diabound Colonel will attack Toon Bakura box on attack declaration. Diabound Colonel will gain 600 attack, putting it just enough to get over the Toon Bakura box, dealing 100 in damage. And along with that attack is using Elushu's ability. So when Diabound attacks, it can add a Diabound monster from deck to hand. That would be the 3rd form, the Wretched. Now Diabound Colonel will use its effect to banish itself to reduce Toon Dark Magician's attack by the attack that Diabound Colonel had on the field. So 2,400, Toon Dark Magician goes down to 100, and the Bandit Expert will be able to attack over it, dealing 1,100 in damage. And just like that, Toons is fielded with that Omni Negate and that Toon Dark Magician are both gone. Diabound sets 1, ends in the standby phase. Diabound Colonel comes back out. And still in the standby phase, we'll activate Colonel Pop. See if he wants to get rid of that Harpy Lady. No, he's actually going to target his own, the Bandit Expert. Diabound Colonel will evolve into its 2nd form, Diabound the Vengeful. So interesting choice to get rid of its Expert while it still had its effect negation active. Go ahead and use the Bandit Expert's ability, though, to special summon the Bandit King from the deck, as well as Elushu's graveyard ability to add that back to hand. Now we see where we're going with this. The Bandit King on summon can discard a card to discard the card that Toons just drew for its turn. So trying to get rid of Toons' resources before it can even get to its main phase. We'll discard the 3rd form of Diabound for the Bandit King's effect. And Toons will chain the card in hand Toon Page Flip. So literally the 1 card that could have been used here in this situation doesn't have to discard it, can instead use it. We'll reveal Toon Relinquish, Toon Funny Bunny, and Toon BLS. Toon BLS will come out from Page Flip. Going to battle phase, so this is interesting here. Toon BLS, if it tried to use its effect to banish the Bandit King, Vengeful could negate it, but if he tries to attack directly, Vengeful will still negate its effect, preventing it from attacking directly. So that is exactly how it'll go down. Toon BLS will try to attack directly. Vengeful uses its effect, target Toon BLS, and negate its effect, so now it can't attack directly. Toon Harpy Lady still can, dealing 1,300. Diabound down to 2,700 life points, but able to survive the turn. Toon BLS, since a declared attack, can't use its effect now. Will pass to Diabound, who in standby phase will bring back out the Vengeful. Go to battle phase, the Vengeful will attack Toon Harpy Lady, gaining 600 attack on the declaration, dealing 1,600 to Toons. Toon Harpy Lady goes down. At the end of the battle phase, Diabound will special summon the 3rd form, the Wretched, by banishing face down the Vengeful. The Wretched has the ability to destroy a face-up monster We'll go ahead and use that effect in main phase 2, targeting and destroying the Toon BLS. The Wretched is banished. End phase, turn passes to Toons. Only the Toon network on the field draws to 1 card in hand. Standby phase, the Wretched comes back out. Does Toons have an answer here? We'll pass back to Diabound without any moves, and this might be it right here. The Bandit King will attack for 1800. Toons down to 34. On attack declaration, Wretched gains 600, putting it at 35, and this could be enough. Just in case, though, we'll use Alusha's ability so that when Diabound, the Wretched attacks, can add another Diabound form from deck to hand. That'll be the 4th form, just in case Toons is somehow able to survive. But I don't think it will. The Wretched's attack up to 3,500 will go through, and Diabound takes game 1. So despite looking like Toons had the upper hand, Diabound is able to make use of its few remaining cards to spin the duel in its favor and is now 1 step away from the crown. Toons, meanwhile, this is the 3rd straight playoff matchup where, despite being the home team, has dropped game 1 to Blue Eyes, to Jinzo, and now to Diabound. Can it mount one last comeback? Here we go. Duel 2. Toons will opt to go first again, opening up again with Toon Funny Bunny on summon. Can add a Toon Spell or Trap from deck to hand. This time it'll again be Toon Bookmark. But this time all those searches are going to be blocked off for the rest of the turn. Diabound uses Droll and Lockbird. So Toons, being so reliant on all that search power, was a perfect side choice to use Droll and Lockbird. And this will likely end Toons' turn prematurely. We'll set 1 to the back row and pass to Diabound. Can Diabound take advantage of that 1 turn static shock? Will set 2 to the back row and pass back to Toons, so likely not the best hand for Diabound. Toons draws. We'll activate that Toon Bookmark that it added on the previous turn to grab Toon Kingdom. So this time opting to use Toon Kingdom instead of Toon Network to make sure it has that destruction prevention. We'll activate Toon Kingdom. And Diabound will activate Cosmic Cyclone, so we'll use that before Toon Kingdom resolves, so it won't banish the top 3 cards of the deck face down, but it also won't take on the name Toon World, and that might be critical just in case Toons was trying to use Funny Bunny's effect, or maybe even a page flip in hand. Cosmic Cyclone banishes the kingdom before it takes on the name of Toon World. And Toons will go to battle phase now, attack for 1100. Diabound down to 5900. Toons still sits at 8000. Main phase 2. And phase, Toons doesn't have any follow-up with its Toon Kingdom having been banished. Diabound draws. Now it's got something going. We'll activate Motive of the Bandit to add the Bandit card from deck to hand. Will be the Bandit King. We'll activate Hideout of the Bandit now. We'll normal summon the Bandit King. Will activate its effect thanks to Hideout. Toons can't respond with a monster effect. We'll pitch a card from hand. That'll be Diabound Colonel. To discard a random card from Toons' hand, that'll be Toon Harpy Lady. Since it's a monster, the Bandit King can now add a Diabound or Colonel card from deck to hand. That'll be the 2nd form of Diabound, the Vengeful. Activates Hideout of the Bandit, pitching that 2nd form, a Diabound card to add the Bandit card from grave to hand. That'll be Motive of the Bandit. We'll activate Motive of the Bandit to add Ancient Tools of the Bandit from deck to hand, the spell trap negator of the deck, which can be so critical against Toons that are so reliant on its spells. Battle phase. The Bandit King will attack over Funny Bunny, getting the first blow for Diabound in the 2nd duel. Sets 1 to the back row and passes. What will Toons do here? Just 1 set to the back row and passes back to Diabound, who looks like it is starting to gain some momentum here. Uses Hideout of the Bandit's ability. This time it'll be pitching a Colonel card to add the Bandit card from grave to hand. Grab back the Motive once again. All those circular searches coming in clutch right here. Activates Motive of the Bandit to add another copy of the Bandit King from deck to hand. Before it can be summoned, Toons will activate. There can be only 1, so locking Diabound out of any other Fiend monster since it already controls 1. So Diabound will wisely activate Ancient Tools of the Bandit since it controls the Bandit monster, pays 1000 life points to negate a spell or trap, destroy it. There can be only 1, will be destroyed. Alright, but on the Chain Resolution will activate another copy of There Can Be Only One. So just keep in mind here that this Grand Prix and this duel are taking place in the previous format, so There Can Be Only One wasn't limited at this point in time. That second copy is definitely benefiting Toons right here, so the Bandit King, the second Bandit King copy can't come out. We'll go to battle phase. Diabound will attack for 1800. Score stands at 49 to 55. Toons still with a slight lead. Diabound, no other moves, will pass to Toons, who will draw. And nothing doing will pass back Diabound, just hoping they don't have a way to get rid of that other copy. There can be only one. Doesn't look like they do. The Bandit King will attack for another 1800, this time taking the lead for Diabound here in this game 2. Main phase 2, Hideout of the Bandit activates, pitching the Bandit card, so we'll add a Diabound or Colonel card from deck to hand. That'll be Hidden Colonel. Activates Hidden Colonel, sending a Diabound monster from deck to hand to add an Alushu from deck to hand, sending the third form. And in the end phase, we'll pass back to Toons. Toons draws in a Toon Bookmark, activates it. We'll search Toon Funny Bunny. Normal summons Toon Funny Bunny. On summon, can add a Toon spell or trap from deck to hand. That will go through, adding Toon Network. Activates Toon Network. Looks at the top 3 cards of the deck. Doesn't look like any of them are Toon monsters, so we'll place all 3 in any order of their choosing. We'll now activate Toon Page Flip. So again, Toon Network takes on the name Toon World while they don't control a field spell. And Diabound is going to respond with its own Floodgate, Rivalry of Warlords. So There Can Be Only One makes it so that players can only control one monster of each type, and Rivalry of Warlords now makes it so that they can only control one type of monster. So with both of those Floodgates on the board, the monsters that each player has is a monster that they have to work with. Rivalry of Warlords will make Toon Page Flip fizzle. It is Floodgate versus Floodgate here in game 2. Toons doesn't have any other moves, will pass back to Diabound. Diabound still unable to summon any other monsters, but able to attack over the Funny Bunny, dealing another 700 in damage. We'll need to get 2 more direct attacks through though. Let's see if Toons can get something going here with these last 2 draws. Main phase 2 though, Diabound will activate Hideout of the Bandit, pitching Tablet of Diabound to add the Bandit card from grave to hand. That'll be Ancient Tools of the Bandit, so getting another spell trap negate on the board. We'll pass to Toons, who will. Activate another copy of Toon Page Flip. Diabound will opt to negate that with that Ancient Tools of the Bandit, paying down another 1,000 life points. Toons just hoping can survive to another turn. Diabound will activate Hideout of the Bandit's effect to pitch the Bandit monster, so getting rid of that Bandit King that it's been holding, to add a Diabound or Colonel card from deck to hand. That'll be Tablet of Diabound. Diabound will attack with the Bandit King, reducing Toons down to its final 1,200 life points. Just one more attack. That could be the championship for Diabound. Let's see what Toons has got. Activates Toon Kingdom. Then we'll banish the top 3 cards of the deck face down. Sets a monster and ends. If it's a Toon monster, Toon Kingdom will be able to protect it. Diabound chance attacking into it. Will do so. That was just a set DD Crow, so Toons just looking for stall, having to set its hand traps while it waits to draw a worthwhile monster to use. Diabound main phase 2 will activate Hideout of the Bandit, pitching Diabound Colonel from the hand to add Ancient Tools of the Bandit. So while Toons is looking for answers, Diabound keeps getting those spell and trap negates on the board. Will set that Ancient Tools that it just added back from the grave. Passes back. Toons, what do you got here? Will tribute Toon BLS to special summon Toon Relinquished by its effect. And since a Toon monster was summoned by tributing a Toon, Toon Network's effect will activate to target a card on the field and return it to the hand. We'll bounce Rivalry of Warlords Diabound will opt not to use ancient tools to negate and destroy that Toon network, likely thinking that it'll need those life points. Now use Toon Relinquish's ability to absorb the Bandit King, granting it an effect negation as well as the 1800-1200 stats, and will use that to attack directly. Toon Relinquish doesn't have the same summoning sickness as most of the other Toon monsters. Now the score stands at 2100 to 1200, as close as it can get here in Game 2 of the finals. Toons passes, Diabound draws, 6 cards in hand. Will activate Tablet of Diabound. So, Toons is in a bit of a predicament here. If it negates that tablet, will reduce Toon Relinquish down to 0 attack, and Diabound would just need to summon a monster with 1200 or more attack to go for a game. So will Toons risk it here? No, it doesn't look like it will. So Tablet of Diabound will special summon Diabound Colonel from the graveyard. Will attack. Toon Relinquish gaining 600 attack on the attack declaration, bumping it up to 2400. So Toons will take 600, reducing it down to 600 life points. The Toon Kingdom will at least be able to protect Toon Relinquish from being destroyed in battle. Main phase 2, Diabound sets 1 to the back row, passes. Toons draws. Can't attack directly here with Relinquish, because then Diabound would be able to go for game on its next turn, but does draw into Toon Funny Bunny. Will normal summon it, use its ability to search, but that will be blocked off by Ash Blossom. Will Toons use Toon Relinquish's ability to negate that Ash Blossom and get that search? No, it will not. Will instead use Triple Tactics Talent. So since Ash Blossom was activated, Toons can now draw 2 cards with Triple Tactics. And will those 2 cards come in clutch? Toon Table of Contents is one of them. Will grab any of the Toon cards of its choosing from the deck. Will be Toon Bakura Box. Switches Toon Relinquish to defense mode. End phase. Turn passes to Diabound. Will try to attack Toon Funny Bunny for game right here, but Toon Funny Bunny will likely use its ability to bounce out of the way, tributing itself. And in response, Diabound will activate Rivalry of Warlords again. But Toon Relinquish will negate and banish that. The Rivalry of Warlords goes away, allowing Toons to resolve Toon Funny Bunny's effect to special summon Toon Bakura Box from the hand. Toon Relinquish goes down to 0 attack, 0 defense. Diabound will try to attack Toon Bakura Box, but Toon Kingdom will protect it from being destroyed by battle, and if it can't get rid of that Bakura Box, it will be able to go for game on the next turn. Diabound, does it have a move to make? Will use Hideout of the Bandit's effect to pitch the Bandit card to add a Kernel Pot from deck to hand, and that too won't be able to destroy Bakura Box as long as that Toon Kingdom is on the board. But we'll go ahead and set 1 to the back row, pass to Toons, who will activate Pot of Extravagance to start off its main phase, banishing 6 random cards from the extra deck face down, draws 2. Toon Relinquish will activate its ability to try and absorb Diabound Kernel. Diabound will chain Elushu, targeting that Diabound Kernel to make it immune to card effects. But it might not matter here if it can't get rid of the Toon Bakura Box. Bakura Box goes into attack mode. Only 2100 life points left. This 2300 attack could be it. Diabound activates Kernel Pop, but again, that won't be able to destroy Bakura Box thanks to Toon Kingdom, and the attack will go through, and Toons takes Game 2. We are moving on to Game 3 here in the championship round of the Grand Prix. Who will take it, Toons or Diabound? Diabound will open up here first in the final game of it all. Starts off, Motive of the Bandit to add Hideout of the Bandit from deck to hand. Normal summon the Bandit King, use its ability. Toons won't be able to respond with any monster effects thanks to Hideout of the Bandit. Pitches the Bandit Expert, so not the most ideal pitch, but let's see what it can discard from Toons' hand. Called by the Grave, so any hand traps that Diabound has will now be able to, Toons won't be able to stop them with that called. Will activate Hideout of the Bandit's effect pitching Hidden Kernel to add Motive of the Bandit back from the graveyard, and we'll use that to grab the Spell Trap Negator Ancient Tools of the Bandit from the deck. Sets one to the back row and passes to Toons, 5 cards in hand. Gonna get over the Ancient Tools as well as have enough ammo to spare. Activates Toon Network. Diabound will go ahead and negate and destroy that, trying to prevent a Toon World from hitting the field. But Toons does have a follow-up. Toon Bookmark will grab Toon Funny Bunny, and here we go. Toon Funny Bunny, normal summon. Adds Toon Kingdom from deck to hand. Activates that Toon Kingdom, banishing the top 3 cards of the deck face down. Activates Toon Table of Contents to grab Toon Dark Magician. And Toon Funny Bunny will activate its ability, tributing itself to special summon a Toon monster from the hand. That'll be Toon Dark Magician. Toon Dark Magician's effect activates, pitching a Toon card from the hand, Toon Sequel, to special summon Toon Relinquish from the deck. And Toon Relinquish will use its ability to absorb the Bandit King, so getting an effect negate on the board. And to finish it off, we'll special summon Toon Ally the Gator from the hand. So Ally the Gator and Toon Relinquish can both attack the turn they are summoned. Relinquish will deal 1800. And Ally the Gator will pay 500 life points to attack and deal 800. And since it inflicts battle damage, we'll be able to send a card on the field to the grave. That'll be Hideout of the Bandit. Tearing away at Diabound's field, leaving it with just 1 card in hand. We'll draw to 2. The first duel was able to overcome things with 3 cards in hand, but will be able to overcome things with just 2, having to get over that Relinquish negate as well. Normal summon the Bandit Expert, so the Bandit Expert would be able to negate Toon Relinquish's ability. Diabound is just going to go to battle phase and try to attack Toon Ally the Gator. Toons will take the 400 hit, banish the top card of the deck face down via Toon Kingdom's effect to make sure Ally the Gator isn't destroyed. It doesn't look like Diabound has much of an answer here. Toons will go straight to battle phase. Toon Relinquish will deal 1800. Toon Ally the Gator will deal 800. And with its effect, since it inflicts battle damage, get rid of the Bandit Expert, and Toon Dark Magician might be able to. Will it go for game, the match, and the championship? Well, Yugi Boy couldn't be here to defeat Bakura, but Pegasus does the next best thing by using Toon Dark Magician to seal the win, the match, and the crown of the Grand Prix. Thank you all who have been with us on this journey as we pitted together all these custom decks we've been showcasing the last few months. Hope you enjoyed the grandness that was the Grand Prix, and congrats to Pegasus, the creator of the game, now claiming the title of King of... What's this? Bakura lost, but he has made off with Pegasus's Millennium Eye. The Bandit King is on the run. Can you stop him? Or will you join him?